back again, guys, from Tampa Bay. Got a beautiful evening winding down here, and I am off to Clearwater Beach to do some sunset photography just for fun. Got a couple spots picked out in my head. It's been a while since I've been down to exactly where I'm going, so I'm not sure what the state of affairs are going to be as far as construction, because I know some of the places don't exist anymore. Some of them I've only been to by the water side, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to them from the land side, but I'll give it a shot. Should have time to scout out 2 of the locations by the time I get down there, get set. But we finally have beautiful weather. It's been a few days since I was able to ride. Had a lot of work to do, and then we had a few nights where we had huge storms roll in. This is the first nice and clear evening we've had in almost a week, at least right around here. So I'm going to pick this up when I get down to the beach and see how it's looking. Coming through Dunedin here, going along the intercoastal. Way in the distance, that's North Clearwater Beach, start of the Barrier Islands. Should have about 20 minutes or so to scout out here and figure out exactly which spot I want to camp out at before I have to make up my mind. It's probably going to be some pretty good traffic because people going over for sunset is, well, a popular thing to do. But I'm not sure because we are late in the year now and most of the snowbirds have gone home. And that was a big part of it. Trying to make this strip a little nicer looking, more touristy, I guess. Putting in a lot more palm trees, and they built this walkway a few years ago. Nice winding path for joggers and biking and walking your dogs. Oh wow, really low tide. That's cool. Should be a little more interesting for a photo for the spots then. Now one spot I'm thinking about is underneath the Channel Bridge. And I've been under there a million times for jet skiing. It's right along the strip there with a couple tiki bars and Shepherd's Resort and all that kind of stuff. So everybody would pull up onto the beaches and chill out for the day, and that's where you'd hang out. I'm just not sure about how they've got it now because there's construction on both sides of it. And Google Maps, Google Earth was a little outdated. And I don't remember what's there because I don't really pay attention to that corner. So we'll see if I can park somewhere nearby. Just kind of walk down to the water. Should be able to. And then the other spot I have in mind is just on the other side of that same bridge in Sandkey Park. We're at the time of the year now where the sun lines up pretty much directly with one of the rock jetty walls. And they're big man-made rock walls on either side of that channel. One on the actual South Clearwater Beach side, and that goes from the hotels there on the corner all the way out a little bit. And then on the Sandkey side, it's along the whole side of the channel. There's no beach on that side at all. And that goes out a little bit further, and you can go out in the actual Sandkey Beach, and it's pretty much the tallest rock jetty around here. It's not that tall, so I mean it's not that impressive. Done a lot of photography out there, you know, engagement sessions or just portraits, because you know it's interesting. It's a cool feature to take a picture of with the water, but it's not big. They got much bigger ones on the other coast of Florida. And then there's a really small one further south in St. Pete Beach, but it's really tough to photograph because even at low tide it's only like 4 feet tall. So you have to get really creative with the angles to make it look impressive. But on high tide, man, there's like 2 feet of it showing. It's worthless. So that's why it should be pretty cool if I do decide to go to Sandkey Park. That'll make it seem bigger. You know, I was thinking about there's a marina right up here also. And there's all these little dead-end streets. I wanted to see what the sun would look like just over the beach hotels. It's kind of far away, and I'm doing these shots very wide angle, so they really wouldn't show up. But that was kind of in my head too. I'm going to turn down, just swing through the marina since it's on the way here. Used to go to this marina all the time because it's a really nice marina and it's convenient to launch out of. Not much of a no wake zone, and then you go right into the intercoastal, and then it's just a hop skip right here under the Causeway Bridge. It used to be a drawbridge. Now it's even more convenient. Just go right under it. No waiting. And then out the channel I'm talking about, you're in the Gulf of Mexico. Super simple. One thing that's really annoying if you're not a boater or a jet skier or anything is no wake zones. Those are zones where you can't do anything except idle. And I've been to launches, especially up in Michigan, where, man, the no wake zones were over a mile long. So you launch your thing and then you have to idle for 15, 20 minutes at least just to get out into open water. Don't do it, dude. So here's the Clearwater Marina. I stopped going here when they jacked up their prices. $10 a day now. It's just ridiculous. At least it was when let's see what it is now. It's $10 a day last time I looked. $6. They've got it changed now, so that's good at least. If you're a Clearwater resident, monthly is only $16 now. That's not bad. Non-resident for this county, which I am, is $26 a month. Still pretty steep. Yearly resident, $160. Yearly non-resident, $256. Just to park. Just to park. Ouch. Used to be free for many years when I moved down here. What a difference that makes. Used to be cash only at this little building here. And you'd get a little paper tag and hang it in your window, and then they went to electronic meters and got your barcode scanner thing. So here's what I was thinking of. Yeah, it's not too impressive. I know you guys can't even see what I'm seeing, but there's too many trees in front of the buildings. They're just too far away to look good in the picture. Yep. A lot of time spent at that ramp. Alright, let's jump on over the bridge. Check out those two spots real quick. I'm just gonna go to the one spot I'm thinking of, hop off, see if I can get down to the water. If I can, walk on down there real quick. Should have, if I'm remembering right, parking within feet of where I want to go, so plenty of time. And if not, I'll just go to Sand Key across the bridge. Little tour here through Clearwater at dusk. Everything's closed. Got some more concerts coming to the park here. It's a real popular venue. It's not real big, but it's nice. There's plenty of parking. It's always clean. Went to a rib fest. It's a barbecue competition kind of thing. And then they have another big one. There's a couple of them. The big one's in St. Pete, but they have a little one down here. Oh my God, if you ever get the chance to go to something like that, do it. Not that cheap, but oh my God, the food quality is just amazing. Basically, it's a whole bunch of restaurants or, just regular people set up. And for $5 or $10, you get a few ribs to try. So you get to sample all these different ways that people do ribs. They'll have other stuff too, pulled pork, chicken, typical barbecue stuff. You can just go to town. I mean, it's better than going to a restaurant and, paying $25, $30 for a rack and maybe not even liking it. We have all kinds of stuff like that here. Food trucks are really getting popular here too, and we've actually set the world record for a food truck rally twice now. I went to the first time they did it. Oh my God. Not only great food, but I mean just the variety. They had something like 140 trucks. getting kind of windy. Hard to hear myself talk. So they had all kinds of stuff. I mean, stuff that way beyond just fair food or normal stuff that you would think about. Like, you know, taco bus is very common around here. A lot of people are thinking that's really exotic, but no, they had all kinds of weird stuff. Stuff that honestly, oh, that's a pretty shot right there. If those construction cranes weren't there, it'd be a lot better. They're still building. I mean, all kinds of new hotels and high-rises going up right now. Got 3 under construction right now, and they keep getting bigger. That's good. More money coming in. But they had some really awesome stuff. And one that stuck out was Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. Never would have thought of that combination, but home run. And then, of course, all the normal stuff like deep fried, everything you can think of, all the kinds of desserts and stuff like that. All kinds of deli trucks and fried food trucks and ethnic trucks. Everything from kebabs to chicken specialties to grilled corn. Oh, what was the one? They had a deep fried, no, it was a Baconade, like lemonade made from bacon. I did not try it. Saw that one, and I saw it again at, I think it was a 2 video, might have been an HLO, I don't remember. But we saw that when we went to the state fair. Yeah, I really can't imagine what Baconade tastes like, and I'm not sure I want to. Alright, I'm going to have to hurry to get over to where I'm thinking, because that sun is already dipping over the buildings, and there aren't any real clouds. I would be able to see the clouds from Sand Key. They're just on the horizon. They're just very wispy clouds. And you want clouds during a sunset because that's what gives you color. If you don't, you just get a white sky. Kind of like the sky came out when I did those sunrise photos a couple weeks ago. If there would have been clouds that morning, oh my god, that would have been just a gorgeous photo. But, white sky. Not exactly thrilling. But this is okay. So I'm thinking Sand Key is going to be the place to go just for the time I'm getting down here. Otherwise, the sun is already going to be behind the buildings. So I'm just going to, I'll shoot through the parking lot just for my information so I know if I can get there in the future, but I'm going to go over to Sand Key. It's already dipping pretty low. Now a little bit earlier in the year, about 2 months earlier, I could have gotten it lined straight down the pier there. The sun moves. Seriously, dude? Yeah, you're going to turn right from the left lane. That's a straight only. Good luck with that. Gotta love tourists. The sun moves from the left of your screen to the right as the year goes by. And then hits summer solstice and comes back. And it has a pretty wide arc, and you really notice it when you're down at the beach. Now, obviously, I have to notice it because I do weddings and stuff on the beach, and you have to see, everybody wants sunset shots, so you have to see where the sun is physically lined up. There's a bunch of apps and websites that show that really easily. And I use the app on my phone if I'm on location, on a shoot or something like that. And it's cool, you just hold your phone up and it's like a virtual reality camera kind of thing, and it just shows you the arc and the path of the sun and planets and moon and all that kind of stuff. If you're on a computer, you don't need an app. Oh shoot, what is the website name? It's like solarnet.com or solarpath, something like that. Man, I can't remember. If you just Google for sunset path, it should be the first one that comes up, and basically it just shoots up a Google map and you just click where you want to be standing, and it shows you real easy lines. It just shows you the path of sunrise and sunset, and it can show you a few other things. So you can just click where you want, and you'll know exactly where that sun is going to be setting if you're going to do some pictures or anything like that. So I took a little shortcut, and that road's new. That's only been there a few years. That saves a lot of time when you don't want to go by the actual beach, which gets really busy. So this lets you just get over to this part. Love bug. These are little three-wheeled, basically scooters. My wife and I rented one in Waikiki on our honeymoon. Oh, those things are hilarious. They're so underpowered. We tried to go up Diamond Head, it's a volcano, and we made it about a quarter of the way up, and it stopped. It said, nope, I'm out of power. Done. So we had to turn it around and go back downhill. Let's see, I'm gonna go this way on the other side of the bridge here. Yeah, see, this is all under construction. They got a fence up, so I can't get there on that side. But I'm thinking there used to be a seafood restaurant here on the other side, and I think they tore it down. But I think there's still a parking lot down there. That little peak is still there, so the building's still there. Wonder if this guy has the same idea. Or he's thinking, who's this guy following me? Let's see. This used to be a Shell's restaurant. It's kind of like a Denny's of seafood. It was okay. Oh crap, they got a fence on this side too now. So that's where I want to go, right down there. Right down there where that sailboat is. That's all beach, and it just runs all along. You can walk it. If you're on the beach side, you can get to all of that. Crap. Vacate the premises. No trespassing. Fine. Be that way. I didn't want you anyway. I will go to Sandkey Beach. So there. Oh, these tires are getting rough, man. Got several hundred at the most miles left in them. You can really feel the flat spot when you go over shifts in the pavement, and they're not as cushy. Feel a little bit more vibration through the bike because it's missing almost an inch of rubber. That's the shot I wanted, right there, but down from the ground level. But right at the end there, at that rock tip, that's kind of where I'm going to go. Should be lined up pretty well. But I wanted a nice panorama of the channel there. That would look really neat. Oh well, I'll get it sometime later. I can always, when I have more time, park further down and just walk the beach all the way down. I just have to pay to park. Probably have to go to Shepherd's or the Hilton. So I don't think there's any free parking or access unless you're at one of the places on that stretch anymore. That's okay. And I like how this park doesn't close until after sunset. Because they know they have a lot of people that come here just for it. Sunset's about 10 minutes before they close, so I'm going to stay right until they kick me out. I want the best color after the sun goes over the horizon. I always see people sticking around anyway. It's not like anybody gets driven off. I think you guys have probably seen me ride through here once before. Oh, I know what it was. I don't remember if I videotaped it. I might not have. It's when I shot the wedding down the road here a few weeks ago. And no, I don't think I did because I was in my car. I came through here and I just had to kill some time, so just did a nice loop through here looking for spots. I was a wee bit early. Now, I'm always early, but that was a wee bit too early. Now, I used that program, and from what I saw, it looked like if I was all the way on the rock, on the water side of the rock jetty, the sun's path, when it clips, should be right at the tip of the rocks at the end, because they make kind of like a J to the left. So it should be what I want. I'm just going to go all the way down here to the right and park. I'm going to be here all of 15 minutes. Quite sure nobody's going to need me to pay for that. Not that I think they're working the meters this close to close anyway. I've only gotten stung twice for parking around here. Once, not my fault. I did not see the sign, and it wasn't one of these pay meter things, so it wasn't really obvious. And it was meeting a client, and they had 2-hour free parking. And the meeting went like almost 3 hours. So I came out to like a $45 ticket. Second time, my fault, but man, I didn't think they'd get me. It was again going down to a client, and I was there, I don't know, 20 minutes, if that, but the lot was packed. I mean, it's in a very touristy area, so they just weren't playing around, and they got me. Luckily, the client paid that ticket, because it was kind of half his fault. He told me there to park there to unload. And then he goes, oh yeah, I should have told you you could park around the back in our spots. I'm like, son of a bitch. Alright. I'm going to unpack here. We're looking pretty good. Another rule of thumb, we got about maybe 10 minutes. If you ever need to estimate how much time you have before sunset, what you do is count how many sun diameters there are from the horizon up. So right now I can see there's 1.5 sun diameters from the bottom of the sun to the horizon. It's 10 minutes for every sun. So we're about 15 minutes until it touches the horizon, about 25 from the end of sunset. So just a helpful little tip there. And that works for about the last hour in the day. Camera might help. Alright, well, I'm going to leave my helmet here. I don't have hat cam. So I'm going to do my shots, and you'll see what I get at the end of the video. Stand by.
So here I am on the other side. Keep forgetting I have this phone in my pocket. Here's your video. That's the bridge that I came over. I wanted to shoot at the left side of it there. And then pretty much all this is new since I moved down. Shepherd's is that white one right there in the middle. And that used to be the biggest thing around here. Not anymore. So got all these new ones going up.
So just in case anybody was wondering, if you should go down near the water at the beach and stand around for half an hour with your gear on, even at sundown, the answer is no. No, you should not. Oh my God, I gotta get moving and stay moving. I am dripping in sweat right now. The humidity. Didn't even consider it. Every time I go to the beach, I'm not wearing a freaking mesh and leather jacket. So that came out pretty good. There were a whole bunch of photographers, as you saw. Of course, very popular place. Great looking sunset today. Had better, had worse. There was at least some nice color there, and they were getting some really good portraits, I'm sure. I did a lot of what's called exposure bracketing. You've probably heard the term HDR, or high dynamic range. And a lot of automatic cameras and phones and stuff do that now. And it's a technique basically where you combine at least 2 photographs with different exposures, and you take the best parts of both of them into one. Now most people do it way too much, and you get this glowing cartoon kind of look. And you have what are called halos around edges. That's where, say you have the edge of somebody's shirt against the sky, but you can see it kind of glowing like a little halo. That's an obvious sign that you applied too much of that effect. Less is more when it comes to effects and filters and all that kind of good stuff. But what I do is I take, I take 3 different shots. I do it manually. I turn on the feature in the camera called exposure bracketing. And what that does is when you press the shutter to take a picture, it fires one, and you can change exactly what it does. You can set it to take it for whatever you have the camera set to, or you can set it to below what you have it set to. That's customizable, but the point is it'll take 3 pictures as a sequence. 1 at the camera settings, 1 below, and 1 above. So you end up with bracketed exposures for your same shot. Now the important thing is, you can't move the camera. Now I didn't bring a tripod. What I do is I just use my camera case for quick little shoots like this. It's nothing important. You know, if it doesn't come out exactly perfect, who cares? I'm not getting paid to do it. It's just fun. But if you actually need the shot to come out, you have to use a tripod because the camera cannot move. If it does, the more it moves, the harder software has trying to put them all together, you know? So I take 1 exposure so the sky looks good, and I'll back up a bit. The entire reason you have to do that is because cameras, sensors, cannot see what our eyes can see. When we look at a sunset, for example, when I was out there, I saw the rock jetty and I saw the sky. The difference in light between those two was very dramatic. Obviously the sun, extremely bright, and those dark rocks were almost completely black. They were in shadow, and the sun was going down. So you have a huge difference in light. Well, our eyes can see that. The unit of measure is, in photography or videography terms, called a stop. And our eyes can see at once about 14 stops worth of light. So that's why I could look out there and I saw everything. Looked completely normal. Well, the camera can only see, and it depends on the camera, generally 7 to 11 of those stops. You have no clue where you're going. So let's just slam on the brakes every 10 feet. That's why I've got my brake covered, because I knew you're an idiot. So the camera, you have to basically tell it, look, you're going to see the brights or you're going to see the darks, but you can't see both. So when you take a picture and you get a great looking sunset sky, and you see the colors and you see the sky itself, and it's not just blown out pure white, well, that means all those rocks are pure black. They are gone, because the camera can't see that low and see that high at the same time. If you do the opposite, if you expose so you can take a picture of those dark rocks, the sky is completely blown out and it's pure white. So that's why you have to do multiple exposures, and really the more the better. But I find that for almost any use, 3 is just fine. 5 is a little better. 3 will cover you in 99% of the situations. And I do them about 1 1/3 stop between each other. That's plenty of overlap. And looking at the back of the camera, you just want to make sure that, you know, it looks okay, that you're doing what you think you're doing, and then you take it from there in Photoshop or Lightroom. And that's what I'll do when I get back, and I'll stick them on the end of the video here. Man, it is the day of lost tourists. Try to take a shortcut and fail. So there you go, guys. There's your little sunset tour of Clearwater Beach and Sand Key Park. Here's where all the tourist ships come in, the actual sunset cruise and the pirate ship and the catamarans and the fishing tours and all that kind of stuff. You just walk right down this pier here and everything's parked in one spot for you. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the site, TwoWheelObsession.com. Got some more new people joining the site. Very cool motovloggers, a big variety. Everyone is sure to find at least somebody that they want to subscribe to. Give me a thumbs up. We'll see you next time.